I'm still in the prime of my career. I still want to be here. But when Seattle kicked me to the curb, please, the Cowboys, come get me here. That's the only place I would rather be, if I get kicked to the curb.
I typically don't bring personal matters into my content, guys, but if it wasn't for my little brother waking me up prematurely, I would not be here right now, and I would not be making this video for you guys right now. And it's also his birthday today, so if you guys could open this video by dropping a happy birthday rap in the comment section down below, show him some love, because honestly, this guy's been supporting my career from the very beginning, and I want to give him some proper respect. Now, for those of you guys that don't know what's been happening with Earl Thomas, it's been a very strange situation over the past 48 hours and more or less over the past 3 months, and I'm going to give you guys a recap of what happened yesterday and how we got to where we are today and what you can expect moving forward. Guys, before we get to the content, make sure you smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Every like really helps this channel grow. I'm personally on 4 hours of sleep right now. It was supposed to be my day off, but I'm happy to grind these news videos for you guys. Just smash that like button to help this video in the YouTube algorithm, and if you think you kind of enjoy my content, then make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications. On top of that, I live stream on Twitch on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, and I will be live on Twitch playing Madden 21 and discussing Earl Thomas's future as soon as this video is at its conclusion. My Twitch is twitch.tv/FlightMike, and if there are any other videos or sources that you need to send me, you could tweet them at me. Now that we got all of that out of the way, break! Mic check, 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? So for those of you guys that were not following the Earl Thomas saga from yesterday and even the day before, here's what happened. Here's a brief summary of what happened, and if you go into my previous video, we'll talk about another incident that he got into 3 months ago that involved him and his brother pretty much getting caught by his current romantic interest and having a gun pulled on him. It's been a very strange 3 months for Earl Thomas, more or less, but this strangeness kind of concluded yesterday when the Baltimore Ravens officially decided to cut him. Earlier on today, there were rumors that the Baltimore Ravens would possibly try to trade Earl Thomas, but it seems like they couldn't give up the possibility of cutting him for free and just being done with him altogether. Earl Thomas signed a 4-year, $55 million deal with the Baltimore Ravens last year. Now I guess you could say he officially pocketed 1 year and $22 million of that money. Now, I want to address a narrative before we get to the details of Earl Thomas's release. I've been seeing a lot of comments in yesterday's video that Earl Thomas isn't the player that he used to be, mainly because he got manhandled by Derrick Henry. And I want to make something abundantly clear. Just because there's this trending video of Derrick Henry completely destroying Earl Thomas doesn't mean Earl Thomas isn't still a remarkable safety. The dude's an all-pro. He made it to the Pro Bowl last year. Now, is he still the same all-pro player that he once was? Definitely not, but in his entire career, Earl Thomas wasn't necessarily known for his ability to contain the run and to tackle huge behemoth running backs like Derrick Henry. He was known for his ability to cover. And if you want to rank him officially, just so you can understand his value entering free agency, because I really hate when people just target players based off of their name and not based off of their production, and that's really important in the NFL as well. Last year, Earl Thomas was ranked 16th among safeties. He made it to his 7th Pro Bowl and played very well in his first year with Baltimore. There was a definite adjustment with him being asked to be more multiple than what he was in Seattle's cover 3. But for what it's worth, he did have his worst season of his entire career, but he still made it to a Pro Bowl. To give you an idea, Earl Thomas's teammate that he got into the argument with, that he got into a fight with in the middle of practice, Chuck Clark, was ranked 36th among safeties according to Pro Football Focus. So the Baltimore Ravens came out and officially said that the reason that they're releasing Earl Thomas is because of his contract being detrimental to the team. And according to Field Yates on Twitter, the Ravens specifically announced that Earl Thomas was released for conduct detrimental to the team, which means the remaining $10 million in guarantees to Earl Thomas are voided, which means you could expect Earl Thomas to challenge that ruling. Once again, here's the footage of Earl Thomas getting into the argument with Chuck Clark. You could see him just throwing his helmet and yelling at him. That's honestly the best footage we got, and this was actually on Earl Thomas's story. Now, to catch you up with what happened yesterday in the event that you didn't see my video, Earl Thomas, once he got sent home on Friday, he stayed home on Saturday. Chuck Clark came back on Saturday, and Earl Thomas posted that practice footage that I just showed you and said on Instagram, "Being sent home sucks. I can't take the reps I need to keep momentum going, but I can reflect on things and keep working my plan to help the team win. This has been one of my best camps. Craziest situation like this can throw dirt on it. Here is the clip that started the fight. A mental error on my part, a busted coverage that I tried to explain calmly, met up with built-up aggression, turned into me getting into it with a teammate. Since we didn't keep it in-house and I'm getting texts and calls from ESPN reporters, etc., I thought I'd try and clear the air. Situations like this narrow my window for error, but this is the path I choose." Now, here's the thing that drives me a little bit crazy, and I didn't mention this in my video yesterday. Earl Thomas has always been complaining about the fact that his personal life and his issues have always been aired out to the media, and the media always gets a hold of them. Even when he had a gun pulled on him by his girlfriend Nina, he had the same exact thing to say on Instagram, that he'd wish that this would stay in-house. But how can you say you wish this stayed in-house if on top of that, you're going out and you're posting about it onto Instagram as well? Even furthermore, the Baltimore Ravens were initially interested in Antonio Brown, and after a while, they officially said that they're not interested in Antonio Brown, and I believe this is why. They don't want to deal with any head cases. They don't want to deal with anyone that could disrupt the camaraderie that they built in the locker room. Now, the Baltimore Ravens officially tweeted out that they cut Earl Thomas for conduct detrimental to the team, and Earl Thomas took to Instagram to thank the Ravens for the opportunity to play for them, saying that "I appreciate the Ravens organization for the opportunity. Had a great run. Wish things would have ended differently, but you live and you learn. Thank you, Eric DaCosta, and everyone else who played a role in bringing me to be more. Wish you guys the best." Now, with all of this being said, who's the most likely team that's going to come out and try to sign Earl Thomas? Where is he going to go to next? Well, in my head, there are multiple teams that I think could come after Earl Thomas, and I'm going to go in order of team that's most likely to sign Earl Thomas, with number 3 being the San Francisco 49ers. He has Richard Sherman out there. This is a team that already has a truly dominant defense that he could go in and potentially help push over the hump so they could once again compete for a Super Bowl. At number 2, this would just be a little cute story that I think Seahawks fans are hoping for. I don't really think this is going to happen, but I see Jamal Adams trending on Twitter, so I'm assuming Seahawks fans think that there's some situation that Earl Thomas returns to Seattle and teams up with Jamal Adams. I wanted to, as cute as this story sounds, I wanted to say that there's no way in hell that happens, mainly because there's so much bad blood between Earl Thomas and the Seattle Seahawks. But I thought I would just mention it here in this list because, well, I do like getting the comment section going. Maybe there's something that I'm not seeing. Maybe it does make sense for him to go back to the Seahawks, and maybe I'm getting something wrong here. But the number 1 team, and give me some props, man, because I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, and I had to do everything in my being to make sure that the majority of this video didn't get dominated by Earl Thomas is going to the Dallas Cowboys. Oh my God. I think the favorite to sign him at this point is without a doubt the Dallas Cowboys. One, the Dallas Cowboys have been able to free up more than $3 million in cap space with the release of Gerald McCoy, and they freed up more space by restructuring Tyron Smith's contract. Dallas has more than enough room for Earl Thomas when he's released by the Ravens, and there is interest. Could you just imagine a defense, if it even lives to half of this potential, of on the defensive line, you got DeMarcus Lawrence, Dontari Poe, and then on the other edge, you have Alden Smith. Maybe you have Randy Gregory rotating in, and you also have Tyron Crawford. Your linebackers, you have Jalen Smith, you got Leighton Vander Esch, and you have Sean Lee rotating in and out. Your corners definitely need some help. Without a doubt, when you have young corners like Trevon Diggs, Chidobe Awuzie, and your best corner seems to be Anthony Brown, and Byron Jones just left you in free agency, you definitely need some help with your safeties, and Jeff Heath isn't going to 100% get it done. Earl Thomas is the type of dog with the type of fire that you want, that the Dallas Cowboys crave. They don't mind taking on personalities like this if they feel like Earl Thomas could take them over the hump. Like, they have Alden Smith on their team, for crying out loud. You know, like, this is a team that is just willing to take as much talent as it possibly could get so they could make a push to the Super Bowl. And if the Cowboys do sign him, which I believe they are the absolute favorite to sign him, I still, as a Cowboy fan, have problems ever calling the Cowboys a Super Bowl contender. Maybe it's because I have PTSD from being a Dallas Cowboys fan, but I personally can't name them a contender for the Super Bowl until I see what Mike McCarthy could do as their head coach. Because in years past, I always thought that the Dallas Cowboys had a talented team and a talented roster. They just never had good coaching to take them over the hump. But also, the Houston Texans have been mentioned as a potential team that's interested in Earl Clark, which means he could team up with Tyrann Mathieu as a safety tandem, which should be interesting as well. But I don't know, guys. Let me know in the comment section down below, where do you think Earl Thomas would go? Where would you go if you were Earl Thomas, and where would you like to see him go? I'm your boy Microphone, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload. I'm going to bed, man.